Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Pisces August 23, 2022. Mars begins its transit of your sector of joy today, and in harmony with your sign. While Mars usually spends about 2 months in a sign, it will stay for more than 7 months this time around. It's a period of dynamism, stimulation, and action, particularly in your creative or romantic life. Positively, you have the right amount of courage and confidence to pursue your heart's desires. Impatience or too hot pursuit of your goals can sometimes lead to conflicts or trouble. Still, it's a more outgoing cycle that helps smooth out your energy levels. Your direct approach tends to get results. You might pour a lot of your energy and initiative into actively pursuing a rewarding love life, social amusement or hobbies, or pleasure in general. You have a likable, competitive, more energetic, and pleasingly assertive temperament. Mars will retrograde in this same sector beginning in late October, and you'll explore whether your approach to going after what you want is helping or hindering you. You are more inclined to stir the pot, but mostly in constructive ways in the weeks ahead. Today, you may not have all the facts or information to go on. Uncertainty about your income, resources, or abilities can weigh on your mind or distract you from doing what you want. People and information can be elusive now. The compelling need to organize your thoughts, especially about finances, projects, and relationships, is real. However, others may not be as interested in setting things straight. You may need to step back and allow your intuition to kick in before you move forward. Of all the zodiac signs, you could enjoy the coming period most of all. This is because mighty Mars, the red planet of sex and energy, is igniting your solar fifth house of true love, romance, and fertility now until March 2023. This is a tremendously long transit, so you're being given an opportunity to shift these themes in your life in a conscious, active way. For singles, you're entering one of the best periods to line up hot suitors who get you excited and possibly even find a twin flame. Couples, if seeking to have a child, will be quite in luck. What should you develop first? You might become overwhelmed with curiosity as Mars enters mental Mercury today. With your mind racing with ideas, your nimble fingers may struggle to keep up. Being involved in everything that strikes your fancy is an absolute must during this stimulating Martian transit. Although you may want to dash off with excitement to pursue your passion projects, you may want to get organized first. Use the Mercurial Mars in Gemini energy to write down a list of ideas that you want to explore through your line of work. While a clash between Mercury, in his last weekend in your financial sector, and Neptune, in retrograde motion in your income sector might create some financial tension, it won't take much to turn this into motivation. Mercury's smart head for money allows you to keep your head in the game and your feet on the ground, while there is a strong sense of resolve on the income side of the financial fence. You may be overextended today and need to shift the focus onto yourself. It's not the end of the world if you postpone doing someone else a favor, and it doesn't mean you're not a good friend if you don't say yes to every invitation. Build yourself up from the inside. This means spending time on something that nourishes your body. Strength-building exercise, such as Bikram yoga, would be especially beneficial to you at this time. 7 letters are in this word, which starts with an L and ends with a Y. Give up? The word is liberty, and it is the only word that will be on your mind today. Need independence? Want to find an original path off the beaten track? Do you want to discover yourself on one that corresponds with you? This will be the program for today. Be careful not to forget others on their own path, because sooner or later, you will need them to advance along yours. The sun's departure from your work sector and return to your relationship sector today is something that happens at this time each year, but this time, with win/win implications on both fronts. The sun leaves you with a clear path forward just as the stars continue to align on the income and job fronts, something that you no longer have to overthink. In the meantime, the sun will shift the solar spotlight onto your relationships just as Mercury, the planet of communication is working to make his final days in your relationship sector count. Having the moon in your romantic sector as the sun returns to your relationship sector today will benefit both, but it is also a chance to pass the torch. The moon is making its first visit to your romantic sector since the last planet left, while the sun is just now turning the solar spotlight onto your relationships. As you bank your romantic expectations, it is time to look more closely at your relationships. Our eyes in sky. The Gemini moon is helping us understand how we can transcend and heal. You might have felt a little tightly wound over the past couple of days, but the vibe right now is perfect for decompressing. The energy is light, and you might feel as though you're flowing from task to task. Be sure to engage with your softer side and indulge in some beautiful fabrics, scents and objects. There is a slight hiccup today because a minor tense connection between the moon and Pluto could evoke intense emotions. You might encounter people who are looking for balance but unable to create it for themselves. The lunar energy has a tendency to make us put the comfort of others before our own, so watch out for interactions that are too draining for you. If you're naturally empathic, you might need to disengage from people who deplete your energy. There might also be issues concerning injustice or unfairness, which could be powerful triggers that disrupt your calm. Luckily, these issues should dissipate as we glide toward nightfall, just in time for you to enjoy a calm and carefree evening at home. Be sure to enjoy some self-care this evening or find some other way to have a low-key night. After midnight, Mercury in Virgo opposes Neptune in Pisces, provoking misunderstandings. This aspect functions a bit like Mercury retrograde, in that it scrambles communication and prompts assessments based on faulty logic. We might cherry-pick information from correspondence to back up a flawed assumption. We can also fixate on weird highlights within our conversations, so even if we comprehend what friends are saying at a surface level, it is impossible to give appropriate feedback. This is obviously not a good influence for detail work, having time-sensitive discussions, or signing contracts. Negotiations may seem to arrive at a satisfactory conclusion, but we'll have to double-check later to clear up confusion. In the pre-dawn hours, Vesta, which has been retrograde in Pisces since July 7th, backs up into Aquarius. The goddess asteroid of divine inspiration will retrace the steps it took during the 3rd and 4th week of May, so look back to this period to see what was occurring relative to your passion projects. While Vesta transited Pisces, we invoked compassion to attune to the higher spiritual aspects of our calling. However, the egoless haze of Pisces may have also found us becoming distracted or drained by our ambitions. With Vesta back in Aquarius, we remember the root humanitarian motives of our causes. We can also challenge any rules keeping us in predictable boxes. At this time, we may need to reassess the advantages or disadvantages of having community input influence the designs of our sacred work.